Hey everyone, Liam from Solitude here, and it's Hottest 100 season, and this year there's one smoky song that I want you to consider when you're doing your votes. So it's been a big year for local Perth pub rock band, the Southern River Band. They released a song called Stan Quaylin, which has been doing really well online, getting a lot of streams on Spotify, and their music video basically going what I would call viral. The video was shared on popular music YouTuber Justin Hawkins' page, where he reviewed the track and spoke about how he liked it. Especially after that, the streams and attention for this band have just gone through the roof, and ultimately I'd have to say it's been pretty much the most successful West Australian underground song released this year. But unfortunately, it was not played on Triple J at all this year, despite the fact that Triple J have played the Southern River Band a handful of times before. And when I say a handful, I really mean a handful, maybe 5 or 6 in total. It's not surprising though that they're not playing this song or this band, because their sound is just not something that Triple J really plays nowadays. I mean, they're reminiscent of classic rock bands like Status Quo and Thin Lizzy. And of course, when it comes to guitar bands and rock music, Triple J is more leaning towards that kind of garagey stuff, surf rock, reggae rock, and there's no kind of Status Quo influenced bands to be seen. But I find it interesting though that the Southern River Band are ultimately one of, if not the most popular up and coming local rock band in Western Australia, and they're making underground alternative music, so I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be considered to be played on the station. Now, with Triple J Hottest 100 voting, they have a system where they essentially nominate songs on this list that they put out that you can tick a box for, and you can pick your 10 favorites, and it's usually full of songs that they've played on the station throughout the year, of course. But sometimes songs that don't get played on the station and that aren't nominated can make it into the Hottest 100 or 200. It's really difficult though, because if you're not on the nomination list, you've essentially got to add the track yourself. You can do that through the voting page if you go through a streaming service. It's just that the song has to be something that came out this year. The people who work there just curate the songs that came through that weren't initially on the nomination list. So there are rules that have been put in place when it comes to voting for songs though, because of the Taylor Swift fiasco, which I made a video of here if you want to check that out. And essentially the rule basically boils down to you can't troll the vote. Now this is going to be interesting for the Southern River Band if they do get a bit of a kick behind this campaign to vote for this song, because they essentially are kind of like a bit of a troll meme act. They do really lean into the fact that they don't get played on Triple J quite a lot. And they even posted this video saying like, you know, vote for us to stick it to them.
Hey you! Yes you, are you bored? Are you petty? Do you want to fuck the system? Well then do we have the campaign for you? Vote for Stan Quaylin by the Southern River Band in this year's Triple J Hottest 100. Despite never being played on Australian radio, Stan Quaylin has hit the charts in 18 countries worldwide, and it's time our great sunburnt country caught up. Don't do it because you want to. Don't do it because you love the song. Don't even do it because it's the right thing to do. Do it to spoil the party. Ruin someone else's day. Piss a whole bunch of people off, and come January 27th, elicit a collective "what the fuck is this" from the average Triple J listener. Vote for Stan Quaylin by the Southern River Band in this year's Triple J Hottest 100. Because if you can't beat them, well then just fuck them. Spoken by Richard Grober, Thornley, Western Australia. Triple J in no way endorses the Southern River Band, and the opinions expressed in this video are solely that of Richard Groper and not Triple J or the Southern River Band Proprietary Limited.
I guess they're kind of leaning towards troll territory, but my opinion is I think they really deserve to be looked at, and if they made 100 or 200, they deserve to be in there because they're a local up-and-coming Australian musician. They make underground alternative music, and a lot of young people listen to their music, and in particular this song, Stan Quaylin, which has had hundreds of thousands of streams and views this year. So if you haven't already voted, I would consider checking this song out and voting for this song if you really like it. And if you do want to just see more kind of traditional rock sounding stuff get played on the station, there's no better way than encouraging Triple J to play this sort of sound than by voting for it in a Hottest 100. I mean, ultimately, that's what happens when sounds that they're not playing end up get playing. For example, like Sticky Fingers, when they were up and coming in their local scene, reggae rock was not popular on Triple J, but they had a huge campaign behind them getting onto a Hottest 100 count, and eventually Triple J just couldn't ignore them when they made a Hottest 100. Now every second indie rock band is playing reggae influenced stuff. So look, if you want to hear the Southern River Band make the Hottest 100, just vote for them. Thanks for checking out this video, and if you want to help out the Southern River Band, a great local up and coming Perth act, I'd consider voting for them.